The moment began so quietly that no one expected it to become one of the most emotional discussions the fandom had experienced in years. It was supposed to be another enjoyable interaction. Another clip shared between fans, another opportunity for ARMY to gather online and celebrate the little things that made loving Jimin feel special. Yet within minutes, timelines exploded. Group chats became impossible to keep up with, and countless fans found themselves staring at their screens with tears in their eyes as they replayed the same few seconds over and over again. For years, fans had shared theories, memories, edits, and heartfelt interpretations connected to a certain intro. It had become one of those topics that existed somewhere between nostalgia and mystery. Some people were absolutely convinced they recognized Jimin's unmistakable tone. Others believed it was simply wishful thinking born from affection and familiarity with his voice. The debate itself had never been malicious. Instead, it became one of those uniquely ARMY experiences where hope, curiosity, and emotional attachment blended together. Then came the moment that changed everything. The clip was short. Too short, according to many fans who immediately demanded a longer explanation. But sometimes a few seconds are all it takes. The familiar melody played softly in the background, instantly awakening memories buried deep within the hearts of listeners. Before anyone could process what was happening, Jimin's expression shifted into a smile that seemed both shy and knowing. His eyes curved gently as if he understood exactly what everyone was thinking. The reaction online was immediate. Did he just? No way. Tell me I didn't hear that. Please don't play with my emotions. I am literally shaking. Within minutes, thousands of comments flooded social media platforms. Screenshots spread faster than anyone could track. Fans translated every word. They slowed down the video. They enhanced the audio. They examined facial expressions with the dedication of professional investigators. But beneath the excitement was something deeper. Emotion. Because for ARMY, Jimin has never simply been an idol standing on a stage beneath bright lights. To many people around the world, he represents comfort during difficult nights, encouragement during moments of self-doubt, and kindness in a world that often feels too harsh. His voice became part of people's memories. Students remembered studying for exams while listening to BTS songs on repeat. Workers remembered exhausting commutes made easier by hearing familiar melodies. Parents remembered introducing BTS to their children. Teenagers remembered finding confidence through lyrics that encouraged self-love. Adults remembered discovering happiness again during periods of loneliness. Jimin's voice existed alongside all those moments. So when fans thought they heard confirmation connected to something that had lived in their hearts for years, the reaction wasn't simply excitement. It was grief, joy, relief, disbelief, love. One fan wrote that they had been part of the discussion since they were still in school. They remembered staying awake until sunrise arguing with friends about whether the intro truly sounded like Jimin. They had grown older, graduated, started working, yet the memory remained untouched. Seeing what appeared to be acknowledgement brought them to tears because it felt like a small thread connecting who they had been with who they had become. Another fan confessed they had lost count of how many times they defended their belief. My friends always laughed at me, they wrote. I said I knew that voice anywhere. Today I feel vindicated. Others admit, Ted, they didn't even care whether they had been right all along. What mattered was the feeling. The overwhelming sense of closeness created through shared experiences. Across continents and time zones. Strangers comforted each other through comment sections. People posted photos from old concerts. They shared screenshots from years ago. They revisited forgotten conversations. Memories resurfaced. Someone remembered hearing the intro while riding the bus to their first day at university. Someone else remembered listening to it after receiving difficult news from a doctor. Another remembered discovering BTS during a period when depression had made each morning feel impossible. Those few seconds suddenly became attached to countless stories of survival. Jimin has always possessed a remarkable ability to communicate sincerity through the smallest gestures. A glance, a smile, a quiet laugh, the softness in his tone when speaking to fans. He never needed grand speeches to make people feel understood. Perhaps that is why the reaction grew so intense. Fans weren't responding solely to a possible confirmation. They were responding to the person they believed delivered it. Because Park Jimin has spent years building trust through authenticity. He celebrated fans' achievements. He worried about their health. He encouraged them to eat well. He reminded them to dress warmly during winter. He expressed gratitude with an earnestness impossible to fake. He cried openly. He laughed without restraint. He admitted fears. He acknowledged mistakes. He loved wholeheartedly. Over time, those moments accumulated until fans felt they knew the shape of his heart. The timeline transformed into an emotional archive. Videos appeared featuring Jimin's most comforting words. Clips showed him encouraging audiences to keep going. Edits highlighted his growth from nervous trainee to global superstar. Soft piano music played beneath montages of smiles and tears. People who hadn't planned on crying suddenly found themselves overwhelmed. One fan wrote, "I wasn't prepared for this today. I just opened my phone during lunch break." Another responded, "Same. Now, I'm sitting in the office pretending dust got into my eyes." Humor mingled with heartbreak. That had always been ARMY's specialty. Memes appeared depicting fans collapsing dramatically after hearing the intro. Others joked about needing compensation for emotional damages. Friends tagged each other with messages saying, "We survived military hiatus only for this to destroy us." Despite the jokes, affection remained the dominant emotion. Many fans reflected on how extraordinary it was that music could create connections powerful enough to endure years. Songs became time capsules. A few notes transported listeners back to specific moments, specific feelings, specific versions of themselves. Jimin's artistry contributed significantly to that experience. His voice possesses a quality difficult to define. It can sound fragile and strong simultaneously. It carries longing without surrendering hope. Even during upbeat performances, emotion lingers beneath the surface. Listen. RS often describe feeling understood without explanation. Perhaps that is why theories surrounding the intro persisted for so long. People trusted their emotional recognition. They believed they knew the warmth embedded within his tone. As discussions intensified, newer fans entered conversations alongside those who had supported BTS for over a decade. Generational gaps disappeared. Veteran ARMY explained old theories. Newer supporters listened eagerly. Together they pieced together timelines and shared perspectives. It resembled family members gathering around old photo albums. "This happened before my time in the fandom," one newer fan admitted. "But seeing everyone react makes me emotional too." An older fan replied, "Welcome to the chaos. We cry together here." That simple exchange captured the essence of ARMY culture. Shared joy, shared tears, shared history. Even when separated by language and geography, fans continually discovered ways to understand one another. Jimin himself often emphasized the importance of human connection. During concerts, he spoke about gratitude. During interviews, he highlighted love and sincerity. During difficult periods, he reassured fans that better days would come. Those messages resonated because they arrived not as polished slogans but as genuine hopes. As the day progressed, reaction videos flooded platforms. Some viewers screamed. Others covered their mouths in disbelief. Many simply cried. A few sat silently staring into space. One creator confessed they had planned an entirely different video before a band. Owning everything to discuss what had happened. "I don't even know what to say," they admitted through laughter and tears. Millions understood exactly what they meant. Certain experiences resist articulation. Language struggles beneath emotional weight. How do you explain the comfort provided by an artist who accompanied you through adolescence? How do you summarize years of loyalty formed through music? How do you describe recognizing yourself in strangers connected only through shared admiration? You cannot. You simply feel it. As evening approached in some countries and dawn arrived in others, ARMY remained awake. Nobody wanted to leave. Fans refreshed timelines repeatedly. They searched for translations. They watched clips again. They exchanged voice messages analyzing every detail. Parents checked on children laughing and crying simultaneously. Friends sent messages asking, "Are you okay?" The answer was usually the same. "No," followed immediately by, "But in the best way possible." For many supporters, BTS entered their lives during periods defined by uncertainty. The group represented resilience. They pursued impossible dreams, faced criticism, endured pressure, continued growing. Their journey inspired audiences confronting their own obstacles. Jimin's individual story amplified that inspiration. He worked relentlessly, questioned himself, sought improvement, protected those